University of Raleigh, North Carolina, is Schelle Holloway hosting On the Grind. Local talented artists, professional national artists, interesting, provocative, and entertaining is Schelle Holloway in Raleigh on the Grind. And here's your beautiful host of On the Grind, Schelle
Triangle, it's Schelle Holloway.
Hey Triangle, Schelle Holloway.
You're tuned in to On the Grind.
I'm tuned in to On the Grind.
And we're broadcasting live from the Palace in Durham.
This is, if you've never been to this place, y'all need to come down. It's church/Vegas meets Hollywood meets player minister. It's all that rolled into one. It's just unbelievable. I've never seen a church like this in my life. It's great. It's beautiful. It used to be something else, which is how we always do it, and then we turn it into something else. And then it's something else that you got to see. Am I right?
He's right.
Yeah,
we're broadcasting from the Palace in Durham, and it's actually Greater Joy Baptist Church.
Greater Joy Baptist Church Ministry. It's a long name. All black churches have a long name. You can't have a black church if you don't have a long name.
We have an exclusive interview with comedian, actor, entrepreneur, Mr. J. Anthony Brown.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, Jay. Good to see you.
Good to be seen.
You sharp.
Yeah, I am pretty clean.
You clean.
Yeah, I am.
I don't know how long I can sit next to you.
I don't even know how either. I don't even know why we got it this close, because I am that clean, right?
Jay, I'm going to jump right into it because I know you have a show to do tonight here. Let me ask you this. How did you know you were supposed to be a comedian? Because, when we grow up, our mama put us in front of a bunch of family. Dance for him.
I guess it's because it was the thing that I wanted to be around the most. People in my family who were funny, relatives who were funny. My father was funny, my mother was funny. I had a lot of funny relatives that would come over from time to time. And I found myself, whenever they would come over, I wanted to be, not just to listen to what they said. I just knew that they were going to say something funny. And I always gravitated, as a kid, to people who were funny. I didn't want to play football. I didn't want to play basketball. I just wanted to be around the funny guys, the guys who could crack and talk about your mama. And I just thought that was hilarious. And I just gravitated to that. And when I got into comedy, it was just something I knew. It's just a spirit or whatever. I knew I could make people laugh. I know I didn't have the whatnots, the mechanical part of it, of how to put a joke together. But I knew at some point later on that I would be able to make people laugh. And it was the same way when I went into tailoring. And I guess one of the reasons is because it was something I really liked doing. And I always tell kids, listen, and you old people too, if it's something you want to do in life, find something you have a passion for. By that I mean something you would do for free. You become great at it. Once you become great at it, once you become real good at something you've done for free, people will pay you a lot of money. That's wisdom. Isn't that deep? That's pretty deep. Look in the camera and say that's deep.
That is
that's
deep.
Very deep.
And it came from Jay. He know what he's talking about. I'm trying to tell you. So who gave you your first shot?
Oh, the very first shot I got was from a club in Columbia, South Carolina. It was called the Pirates Cove, and I somehow went up there and convinced this guy that I had been doing comedy for quite some time. Of course I had not. I'd been listening to Red Fox albums and Bill Cosby albums, and I don't think Richard Pryor was out that time because I'm 59, so he wasn't really popular. But I listened to these albums, and I thought in my mind I had these routines down. I thought it like I got it. They said it, I got it. I go up there and I said, they said it, got it. Go up, do it. Boom, boom. They bring me on stage, and I said, yeah, I've been doing, how you talking, you lie. I've been doing comedy for quite a time. I'm in town for just a minute, and I'd love to come up and grace your stage, because I heard one of the comedians, I heard Red Fox say something about grace your stage. So I go up there, and I was sewing at the time, and a lot of people don't know, but I was a tailor. I started up, doing an interview in here, man. A lot of people don't know at the time I started off as a tailor, started making clothes and, doing alterations and stuff. So I go up to this place, the Pirates Cove, man, and it's like packed with people. And I bombed so bad. It was horrible. And anybody who's a comedian or anybody who's ever spoken in public, the biggest fear, number one fear is snakes, and it's right up there with speaking in public. And I'm scared of both of them. At that particular time, I was afraid of both of them. And I went up and I bombed so bad. And if anybody's ever had one of those things where they say, get up and speak, and you just bomb, you don't relate to the audience, you just feel so bad. It's the worst feeling to bomb, to try to make people laugh and they just look at you like you're crazy. You just feel like a devil. Yeah, what is he? They feel for you, and you feel, and it's such a lonely drive home. And I wasn't driving home at that time. I was walking home. It felt like I was never going to get home. And I just took a different approach to it. By the time I moved to Atlanta, was the problem with me was I did not know how to speak continuously. You see, I haven't shut up since we started talking, but I didn't know how to speak continuously and without saying, and you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I bought me a little $19 to record it, and as I listened to myself, like, dude, you don't know how to talk. You don't know how to express yourself. You don't know how to put a sentence together. And that made a lot of difference when I would sit at my sewing machine and I would just talk. That's all I did. I said, what I need to learn how to do is talk. I'll let the jokes come. I need to know how to talk. And I would sit it was so crazy when I think about it. I'd sit at my sewing machine, I'd do alterations, I'd be letting out a pair of pants, or I would be putting a hem in and or putting a new zipper in or whatever, shortening the shoulders, doing the sleeve, and I would just talk. And they thought I was crazy, and every time I thought of something funny, I'd laugh. And it's crazy, man. But I was getting ready. I was getting focused, right? And I was sewing and you know what I mean? And I write that down, and that just became my routine for about a year.
So you trained yourself?
I trained myself to really learn how to speak. That was my problem. I knew I could formulate a joke. I could put a joke together, but I couldn't remember it. I couldn't say it. I couldn't express it. I couldn't tie everything together. And once I did that, and I went to this place called Mr. B's in Atlanta, which was a really, really nice, elaborate club, and they gave me a shot at a gong. I had a gong show night. And I got an opportunity to go up on gong show night. Never did get gong. But the guy saw something in me, and he made me the host. And that really was the turning point of me because every Monday night for 5 years I had some place to go and work on my craft, and I did pretty much the stuff I do on radio. I did song parodies, I did costumes, I did stand-up routines, I did videos, I just whatever I thought I could do. And it was a stomping ground, a proving ground of getting ready for to do what I'm doing now.
Shouts out to Atlanta, the Gong Show.
Mr. B's figure 8. Shouts out to him. He really was a person to give me a big break. And then the comedy clubs came along, and that was so weird because I never knew that there were places that would just cater to comedy. We'd always go in a place where, all right, we're going to stop music right now, and we got to do something, and you don't want to hear that, but nobody want to hear that. And it was horrible.
And you scared to get on
but it worked out. I've been truly, 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 truly blessed. And then the other blessing was to be on the Tom Joyner Show. That is just, that changed my career. I mean, there's so many blessings, I can't count them all. Doing Def Jam, when I did Def Jam, it was just like, my manager said, well, don't do that show. You're beneath that show. You're above that show. You shouldn't. I'm like, hey, look, they're paying you X amount of dollars. They're giving you this amount to go up. They're flying you up there. I'm going to go do Def Jam. And when I did Def Jam, that really turned, that watch out there now, that just kind of turned the career around for me.
So how long have you been on Tom Joyner Show? Probably
about 15 years now. Wow. Yeah, isn't that great? I had black hair and a real thick mustache, and I was kind of young. Now I look like Uncle Ben. This is ridiculous, man.
Well, where were you when you got the call? Were you just chilling?
What had happened was I was working at a club in L.A. called Maverick's Flat, and I was writing for Arsenio Hall. I was a writer, and this is why I just like to really kind of talk to young people in terms of when it's something you really want, you don't let what you can't do stop you from achieving what it is you want. I got a writing job on Arsenio Hall. I could not spell or type. Still can't. Can't spell or type. But I didn't let that stop me because I knew all I had to do was hire somebody who could spell and type, and I could get my jokes. And this was before fax machines. This was before texting. This was before email. So I would have to get up at 5 in the morning, look at the paper, and say, well, I write a joke right there. Call this lady on the phone, and this old white lady didn't understand sometimes the joke. She said, okay, well, I'll type it up. And then I'd drive I would drive all the way over to her house and pick my jokes up. And it'd be early in the morning, so she wouldn't want to rewrite the joke over if it was wrong. And then, well, that's what you said. I'm like, oh, no, that's not what I said. And then I have to get there and get it and type it in, so I would try to turn it in 2 pages of joke. But I said that to say this. that's how I got the job on KGLH, because there was a guy named Rico Reed, who was another guy who gave me a break. I said, man, I really like doing radio. Let me just come up there and hang out with you for free. That's another key word, free. Do it for free. Don't always think you're going to get paid to do what it is you want to do. That's how you learn, doing it for free. What's the book? No, it's not The Promise. It's My Two Dads. What's the name of that book?
I don't know.
It's something about this guy. He has two fathers. One's rich, one's poor. And the other father teaches him the ability to work for money and how you learn when you're not getting paid. Because you just learn things when you're not getting paid. Because if you're not getting paid, you're doing it out of a passion. But anyway, I was hanging out with Rico Reed, and I was do this Saturday night at this club called Maverick's Flat. And Tom had this producer named Yolanda Starks. She was just like my biggest fan. She just thought I was the funniest person in the world. So she pitched me to be on the show with Tom, and at that particular time, Tom was putting on all the comedians, just as an interview, who kind of stood out on Def Jam. You know, like you, like Steve stood out, Bernie Mac stood out, Adele Gibbons stood out, everybody who kind of stood out. And my Watch Out There Now kind of stood out. So we had an interview on the radio, and we just clicked. It just, from the minute we did it, it just clicked. You know how you meet somebody, you know, it just, like you and I, we clicking. We clicking, you see what I'm saying? And it just clicked. And so I said, man, I would love to be on the radio show with you. And I said, I'll do it for free. So I said, man, you know, I'm in LA, but anytime you got a bit you want to do, call me up, let's do the setup, and I'll be the character. We kind of play around with it, you know. And he would call me like, Jay, you gonna be the astronaut, the first black guy. We go on in 10. I'm like, okay, yeah. And it's just click. And people just like will call and say, man, you need to put that guy on every day. And then I pitched to him. I said, I could be on your show for free, and I got these song parodies that I've been doing in LA called Murders to Hits. He said, well, send me some of them. So I sent him like 10 of them. He said, yeah, well, let's go with it. So I would come on every Friday and do my Murders to Hits. And it just clicked till the fact where people say, man, that guy needs to be on every day. And we click. Tom and I really click. We really do. I mean, it is what you hear. Sybil, you don't click with Sybil right away. It takes you about 12 years before you click. You know.
Y'all just started clicking because
now with the first 10, we did not click. She did not like me. And Sybil is a loyal friend. Sybil's one of the people that won't speak to you. I mean, and then it's your birthday, you get a birthday card. So it's like, that's just how Sybil is. But that's her, because I took the place of another guy who was very funny, who was Sybil's friend. His name was Kevin Woodson, who did Melvin. He did the voice of Melvin. And Sybil was, you know, she kind of felt, you know, here this guy is. I never heard of him. He ain't that funny to me. So for the first 10 years, I like, good morning, Sybil, good morning, Jay. I mean, Tom, and nothing. I didn't get nothing back. And then she started to come around. But once she's your friend, once she's in your corner, you got a friend to the end. She's just like that. But that's how I got on the Tom Jones show. Did I answer your question?
You did.
I did. Okay.
You did. Right. Tell me about this J Spot.
You've never seen it?
I've never seen it. I want to see it.
It's one of the nicest clubs in LA. It's not as big as I would like for it to be. I wish it was to the point where it seated about 350 people. It seats 125. For now. It's the dream. I've always had to own my own club. And the reason I wanted to do that is because I've been to so many clubs around the country, playing this club, playing like this, set this up. And I found out it's really not that hard to put comedians on stage, put a sound system in, and run it. The hardest part is getting the people to come in. But I just always wanted to have my own club. So I came up with the name, the J Spot. Come to find out, if you watch Girlfriends, that's the fictitious club that they hang out in.
They always go to.
But they didn't register the name. I did, so they don't own the name, the J Spot. I do. Okay.